there's nothing better than the aftermath of a festival. And as all the volunteers and the crews come in to pack up here at the Sustainable Living Festival in Melbourne, there's one group that are far from packing up because they have still got a whole lot of work to do. Their volunteers are here. They're busy washing against waste. Now, this is a project that's been, you know, one of the flagships of the Sustainable Living Festival here in Melbourne. And they've been backing this. G'day Craig, g'day Laverne. They've been backing this for many, many years. And as you can see, the volunteers are here busily washing the Wash Against Waste plates, cups, knives and forks. The whole lot get washed on site. So the reality of that means that all of the food vans and all the food providers, they don't bring cutlery, they don't bring cups and knives. Oh, sorry, I said that. They don't bring plates, they don't bring cups, they don't bring disposables, they don't bring any single use. Because, g'day Andrea Dennett, g'day Danelle, welcome. What they do, so everyone here, all of the food vendors, they don't have to bring any of that. So that equates to a saving. It really does equate to a saving. And I definitely need a spanakopita before you close. Θα κλείσεις τώρα ή σε λίγο? Ναι, εντάξει. Oh, sorry, I'm just chatting Greek here because look, there's I gotta have a spinach pie. That's a must. So basically, back to what I was saying. What that means is that that there is no waste. So you can go around to the bins and you'll find that there is no cups and plates, even compostable ones, because compostable materials still require a huge amount of effort. A, to make them, B, to use them single, just on one occasion, and then C, to deal with them, let alone the fact that a lot of them are a hoax because they're biodegradable, which means they're going to take a long time to break down, or they've got to be industrially composted, which means that that's just another storytelling that is not the way of the future. What we want is to eliminate the energy and effort that goes into making single-use things by eliminating single-use things. Because what these are non-single use. These have been going for a long time. I reckon I probably drank out of that at last year's Sustainable Living Festival. And so the only bin you've got here, and this is what I love, they got all of these awesome baskets that they go and collect the plates from the diners, and all that's left here in the bin is purely compostable things. And this is probably from a vendor that was giving out stuff and not putting it in the Wash Against Waste plates and cups. So I've kind of gotten a bit excited and started talking about it before I introduce you to the man who is going to express all that information again and much more concisely. Andrew, come over here, mate. Get into this golden afternoon light.
Beautiful sunshine.
Now, if anyone's got any questions, feel free to rack them up because, oh look, I'm filming Andrew, and when I hold the camera at my height, all we're getting is from there down. So, Andrew... Andrew's going to have to go on to squat cam to actually get down. No, I'll just hold my hand up. Okay. I will tilt the camera a little bit. Great panel this other, mate. Good to see you. Mark Chadwick, thank you. Now, Andrew, walk me through Wash Against Waste. Explain how it works. I know that there's a movement from hot water to cold water, that the water is cooked on site.
Yep.
But where do you want to start? Tell us.
Well, I suppose the whole idea, as you might have mentioned in the video earlier, it started in around 2000. There was some deep green environmental types in Eltham who thought, you know, this has to end with the old single-use paradigm, and so they thought, let's start reusing all of our cutlery and crockery and tableware. So they did that in 2000. The Sustainable Living Festival run with it, and they've just gone and gone and gone and gone. 18 years they've been doing it, And in that time, there's been a number of incarnations. And what they've come to now, it's a focus on a behavioural change. So instead of it being single use, you know, have a crack at it, throw it straight in the compost, or throw it in the waste stream, which was still happening for a lot of events. Now we're saying, well, if we look at the paradigm of reduce, reuse and recycle, reuse is number 2, so we're a step above everything what we're talking about when we're talking about recycling and composting. So we're going to try and go for that one step higher in the pyramid.
Yep.
And this is it. So the steps that we go through is to have people go out and collect the cutlery and crockery and tableware that's being used.
Can we just roll back one question?
Yes.
So now, Rod, I'm cueing your question because I think Andrew's going to go back one step and this is going to answer your question. Because Rod says, do the users wash their plates? So that's not quite right.
Now, Costa, that's an interesting question because there's a whole lot of different incarnations of this idea. I live in community in Murundaka in Heidelberg, right? So I've gone through the different evolutions of how washing works. The first evolution we had was we had a group of people who would cook for 30 to 40 people, and at the end of that, there'd be someone who said, oh, I'm going to wash the dishes. That person could wash the dishes for 4 hours by themselves. That's not very fun, right? So then we went, all right, now we're going to do washing teams. That was the next evolution, right? So then we had 3 or 4 people. So 3 or 4 people would wash between half an hour and an hour, and they'd get it done, right? Now, we've gone to the next evolution. It is, you wash your own stuff, you use it, you wash it. So at the moment, at Sustainable Living Festival, we're using volunteer power and love, but who knows? It might be, Costa, because this is the goal. It's a behavioural change goal, similar to Keep Cup, similar to a lot of these other really popular companies and organisations. It's saying, this is how it was, where we're going to go to, and if it could get to each person who has a bit of a meal says, I'm going to wash this straight after, that's decentralising. That's saying, hey, many hands make light work. It's going to be a win-win-win. So hopefully eventually we'll get there. But at the moment, the way it works is councils, event holders will hire the system. They'll get a group of people. Usually the amount of people that they need is proportional to how big the event is.
Yep.
And then they'll come through and they'll go, righto, how are we going to wash dishes? Using the minimum amount of water, using the minimum amount of energy. And that's the system that we've devised over 18 years because it's environmental people. We're not mucking around.
Yeah.
We are focused.
That's great.
Yeah, and so we're trying to use, I think they got statistics on about like 300 or 400 litres of water over a 2 or 3 day event. It's just amazing.
Wow,
yeah,
that is not
amazing.
A lot of water.
Yeah. And so we're thinking eventually we could be using the system without need to connect to the electricity grid, and use this system without needing to connect to the water source. So we could just have a trailer-based water system eventually.
Yeah,
that's the aspiration.
And I mean, aspirations are great because it doesn't sit it in the year 2000.
Yeah.
We're in 2019.
Yeah.
It's evolved, it's developing, it's growing, it's turning in. Eat, wash, love it. Claire Greeno, fair call there. Great idea. Watching with interest as I'm working with a local bush market to reduce waste. Yeah, well, Robin, this is one of those ideas that wants to grow and is capable of growing and needs backers and needs people supporting it.
And I'm getting feedback from community events. I'm getting feedback from councillors. Sometimes they're in the waste division, so sometimes they're on out in the depot and they're hardcore. They're going through the waste. They're doing audits all the time and they want to know the numbers. And I say, what's the numbers? All right, the numbers. If you're running a fate, you're looking at it between 3 and 3.6 kilograms of waste per hour, tableware waste, going into your compost system.
Wow.
Per hour. Now at an event of this scale, we're talking more like 6 or 7. So 6 or 7 kilograms of waste per hour is being diverted by people taking the initiative and putting in the love and washing against waste. Yeah.
So the volunteers, they come and sign up and say, yep, I'm gonna wash for 2 hours or 3 hours or 1 hour. And how long, Andrew? Do you mind if I ask you, how long have you been on the wash?
Since 12:30.
12:30. Well, that's a good 6 hours. What about you, Violet?
I've been here since 9.
Since 9. And your hands are still looking fine. They're not too crinkle cut. How long have you been washing for?
I've been here there for almost 6 hours.
6 hours. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
What about you guys down here? You're drying, or you're rinsing and throwing. What?
I'm the dryer guy.
You're the dryer guy. That's kind of cool.
I've been here since 1 p.m.
Since 1 p.m.
Yeah.
So 6 hours on the dry.
That's
6 hours on the dry. That's great. What do they do with meat waste? There's a question for you.
So meat waste, it does depend on who's processing your organic waste at the
G'day,
event.
Bombers.
Some events will have a link to a council processing plant, and some councils either are transitioning to being able to recycle organic food waste. Others are still only dealing with garden scraps, etc.
Yeah,
so it's
they're
a
not
transition.
Kogo.
It's
Yep.
a transition. So it depends on who you're dealing with. Some of the councils who do food waste in their composting system will say, yep, meat, no problems. And others are saying, well, it's a discussion they're still having. So it depends on the event, depends on where the event is, depends on if the event has got an external contractor for waste or if they're giving it to the council. But ultimately, the biggest statistic that just blew my mind when I was doing research into this, we've seen the transition with waste and recycling in the last year and a half. China basically shut the door on recycling. They're saying, you're not sending any more recycling to us, so now countries have to deal with it, and then municipalities have to deal with it. I've spoken to municipalities who said to me they were making money selling their waste to be processed in China. Now they're paying local contractors or local solution providers to get rid of the waste. So it's gone from a place of where they can earn money from waste to being it's a cost.
Yep.
And that's totally changed the paradigm, and hopefully that gives them enough of an incentive and enough of a practical, response to say, well, you have to do something, and this is one of the great things you can do. That's my hope.
Yeah. And have you got any rough statistical idea of how many times in the day that plate that Violet is gently cleaning there? How many?
Beautiful bowl.
Or that bowl.
Yeah.
Have you got any idea of perhaps how many times that could go through in a day?
If we're looking at the Sustainable Living Festival, our bowl count, we're at about 260 bowls. So if these guys have been washing for 6 hours, I reckon it's probably been through about 5 or 6 times.
5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Which is just fantastic, isn't it?
That's it. One event, it's getting used 5 or 6 times. And so then if we multiply that by each event, each council, each municipality going for it, they're getting to spin it through again and again.
And look at it. There's nothing wrong with it. It could go through another 600 times.
That's like 5 years old.
So it's 5 years old, and it's just had a little walk out. It's had a little bit of a workout here at the Sustainable Living Festival. Too easy. Now Laverne has just said it's not waste, it's recycling. We need to change that language. Yes.
Yeah, we could say wash against recycling. Yeah, we could change it. We could look at it that everything that's going through the waste, all tableware that's being used at events is being recycled. That would be my hope. But I suppose we have to also consider the fact that it started in the year 2000 when municipalities were not recycling. So the actual cultural heritage of Wash Against Waste as a name, as an idea, was pre-recycling. And now we've come to recycling, and now we're going from recycling into separation of organics, and we're going to the next level. Our plastics hopefully will become bioplastics. Our compostable tableware that is available and realistically has to be used by some food vendors in a lot of situations, that's going to be made from waste products. So we're doing the best we can in each of these incarnations, and I think that Wash Against Waste, and I think these guys probably would agree, that this is the best system. We're going the ultimate solution. And hopefully, if we can get the word out there, if more and more people, become aware of, washagainstwaste.com, the new website, and then we can move the transition, the normality into the next level.
Can someone just type up washagainstwaste.com just so that everyone watching can see that website and jump on there and learn a bit more about the data and the stats behind it. Are there any more questions from anyone out there? Andrew's here. He's explained everything really sweetly for us, and I appreciate that. G'day, Bobby. Bob from Hobo Grows here with us, thinking of you, buddy. Hope all's well. Esther Zagani, yes, it is awesome. And when you look at the simplicity of what's going on here, you're just talking about everything that was being talked about in the Dome not long ago. This is people power, turning problems. Thanks, Francis Marnie, for typing that up. Do they travel to the country or Wodonga?
There's a partner organisation in Mount Alexander, so Castlemaine. So they exist and they've got a trailer they're lending out to municipalities. We're focused in Melbourne at the moment, but we're you know, anyone that wants them, we're going to go there. This trailer's been to Tasmania. This trailer's been to Sale. It's been to Orbost.
Oh, wow.
It's been to Geelong. It's been, you know, it's got around. And I do have a map of the spread, and it's full on. You just look at it and you go, wow. And it's people who just go, righto, we want it. We're going to come into Melbourne to pick something up, and I'm going to take the trailer back. I'm going to do it for our event, you know, and eat one event at a time.
Yeah.
The word spreads, and people go, it just becomes the norm. You just become, yeah, why wouldn't you? Easy. Done it before, do it again.
Yeah, there was a bit of a misunderstanding there. Laverne meant the comment about waste recycling going to China, not about the Wash Against Waste.
Oh, okay.
But you did explain that in a nice way, I must say. But yeah, that's right, Laverne. It isn't. It is. You know, all of that recycled material being sent away as a out of sight, out of mind. Let's all feel good and allow someone else to worry about it. And that China sword came slashing down, and now those changes require time. They require time for organisations, and particularly smaller country municipalities that don't have that mobility and flexibility, let alone the funds to just shift their systems to account and change in a short period of time, or an instant, like you say. So it's great. It's great that you know, simple systems are the ones that can really.
Anyone can do it. You can recruit a Cub Scout. You can recruit the Lions.
Yeah.
You could get the you know, the elderly. You know, get them involved, get the CWA involved. You can get anyone from any age group involved in Wash Against Waste, and there's your volunteer support base. And it's not a high bar in terms of technical output. It's just about love, and it's about doing the hard yards. It's a bit of a marathon. Yeah. You know, do your 6 hours and then you earn your stripes. And of course, like, there's so many ideas and there's so many opportunities about how we can get people to be motivated to do this. And there's so many ideas about how people who get it, can communicate to the other people within their organisation, whether it's an event manager, whether it's the mayor, whoever it is, say, hey, we get it, we've got this idea, we've been running with this idea, now we're going to introduce you to it, and it's easy, and it's straightforward, and this is how it's done, and hopefully we'll have systems that are repeatable and scalable, and so whoever wants one, or whoever wants to get involved can contact us, and then we're going to build, you know, a database of information, get feedback from people on what they want and how they want it to be better or how they want it to be different, and then we're going to deliver. That's the goal.
Everybody, this is Andrew's just gone the power squat to come down to my size. I'll stand on my toes, and now you stand on your toes. On your toes? Yeah, there we are. Anyway, it's just so exciting to be in a panel discussion in the Dome behind us over there, to then come out here and see these practical solutions on the ground. Congratulations, Andrew. Put the word out there, everyone, because this is how we change stuff, and we don't need an industry to pull the plastic out of single-use coffee cups and so on. Just don't use single-use. And don't create single use that requires recycling, because that's energy. We've got to transform. Like,
less
sit
complex.
down, sit down and drink your coffee.
Let's keep it
as
simple,
you say. I love these sorts of stories. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Costa.
Claire has said she'll be in touch.
There you go.
Thanks, Jennifer. And I'll just spin around, and we'll just get a look down the line at all the volleys. Give us a wave, everyone. Thanks for all your effort today, and Wash Against Waste rocks. Thanks, Andrew.
Cheers.
Do you want to do the farewell button on the finish?
Ciao.